Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we join EBTV host Angus Kress-Gillespie at the New Jersey Folk Festival on the Douglas campus of Rutgers University as we take a tour of the annual festival. We celebrate the senior student athletes of the East Brunswick High School varsity boys volleyball team as they hold Senior Day before a home match against Hunterdon Central. Al Nygren, the executive director and curator of the New Jersey International Film Festival, stops by the studio to provide an overview of the upcoming summer season of the festival. All this, plus we have information about a Lost Souls Public Memorial Project event featuring poet Glennis Redmond. So stay with us. This Week in East Brunswick starts now.
Hi, I'm Angus Kress-Gillespie, your host for East Brunswick Television. And we're here today on the site of the annual New Jersey Folk Festival. As it happens, this is the 45th anniversary of the New Jersey Folk Festival. Here we are, Saturday, April 27th, 2019. And what we do on these anniversaries is we try to recap some of the best of the past. We're particularly focusing on one musical genre this year, bluegrass music, which some people have said is folk music in overdrive. We have two important bands. One is Dan O'Day and Eagle Ridge. The other is the Magnolia Street String Band. And to top things off, we're also featuring an occupational group. It's called Maritime Traditions. And on our Skyland stage, we have two musicians who do maritime music. One is Stephen Sanfilippo, who is really from eastern Long Island and does a lot of whaling songs. In addition, we have Bob Wright in Harbortown, and he's from Staten Island and does a great deal of local maritime material. So we have quite a lot to offer in terms of music. In addition, we have a very nice heritage area with all kinds of interesting crafts, including Turkish oya. So there's quite a lot to see in terms of the music and the crafts. In addition, of course, we always have a children's area where there's children's games and children's crafts. I think probably the most important thing about the Folk Festival is it's not exactly a shopping mall, although you can buy handcrafted items rather than manufactured items. And it's not quite an amusement park. We have no mechanized rides or games of chance, although there's plenty of interesting things to see. And it's not exactly a food court. We don't have just hot dogs and hamburgers, but we have more exotic fare, including such things as empanadas from Colombia.
Midnight special, shine its light on me, let that midnight special shine a light on me, let the midnight special shine its light on me. Song I learned at one of those.
I first started out of Desire, and then now I currently go into museums and historical societies, and I look and I try to find New Jersey replica baskets that are in their collections, and then what I do is I make them. The New Jersey charcoal basket, okay, so it would have been a much larger basket, and it was for making, after the charcoal was made, the fellas would lay this against the bag, they would rake the hot coals into it, get picked up, and either be on your shoulder to carry or two-person carry. And you would take it over to the wagon, the coal box, which was a wagon, horse-driven wagon, and you would just kind of dump it into the coals into the wagon before it went out to market. But this is an authentic size New Jersey, South Jersey berry basket that the kids would have made in the sedentary times of the winter. You would just make them very quickly. They wouldn't be made this, I say this is made very beautifully, but they would have made them very crudely, tossed them to the side. Berry season, they would come collect them, and they would go into the market, and they would go home. The strawberries in the basket would go home, and so the farmer would not get his berry basket back. And the eel fyke, if you look, I don't know if you can see the bottom of this. Can you see that? Okay. So you would put your bait in here, you take your cedar plug, You would plug up your cap, put the cap on. You would lay this in the current of the water. The eels would go in, but they wouldn't turn around and come out. After you harvest them, you would pick this up. You would tilt and dump out your eels. So these are the few Jersey baskets that I brought with me to the festival today.
This is Barry Griffiths. He's from South Jersey, and he's a traditional duck decoy carver. Barry, how did you get started?
Well, when I was real young, like 12 and 13, I admired decoys, and we had to go hunting, so we needed decoys. And what happened was, in order to go hunting, if you didn't have decoys, you wouldn't be successful. So I started making decoys, and then I went hunting, and they would work well. And then as time went on, I got better, and the decoys got better, and then it was a great tradition to go out there and take your own decoys in the Barnegat Bay and actually have ducks come into your decoys, and you could actually shoot at the ducks. And back then, it was a source of food, and it was a great sport too. It actually carries on the tradition from the 1800s. Very happy to carve, and it's relaxing. The best part is when you get all done with one of your pieces, you can look at it. I don't really hunt anymore, but I still enjoy carving, and it's been a good run, and I'm very happy doing it.
We're out here at the New Jersey Folk Festival at Rutgers today to demonstrate our craft and to let people know that it still exists, and you can still get hand-woven and hand-spun items. And we've got 3 spinners here. I'm weaving. We have a knitter over there, and we're having a blast so far.
We are fiber artists, and we weave, we spin, we knit, we crochet, we needle felt. We do everything that you could possibly do with any kind of fiber.
Well, speaking about the folk festival, which I know something about, I'd have to say that it's because it brings together people from all over the Northeast, really, to hear music they wouldn't hear otherwise. Certainly music that if you live in the area you wouldn't necessarily hear otherwise. And Rutgers Day in general, I can say, brings people from all over the state to enjoy and get to know the State University a little bit better.
There's lots of different vendors out here, everything from jewelry to woodworking. We've seen and met a lot of great people. It's a great, lots of dogs, lots of kids. It's a great family event. You can bring your kids and your whole family. There's a petting zoo. There's pretty much everything for everyone, and it's a really good time. Gets the community together, especially when we need to come together. So we've been coming to Rutgers Day and Folk Festival for at least 10 years. It's a wonderful event. We come every year, and we're looking forward to next year, and we hope to see you here.
If you missed it this year, please check us out next year. It always takes place the last Saturday in April. For more information, particularly vis-a-vis next year, you can check out our website, njfolkfest.org.
The East Brunswick High School varsity boys volleyball team recently held senior night before a home match against Hunterdon Central. Let's check out some of the action and meet the seniors.
Hello everyone, it's Al Nygren, Executive Director and Curator of the New Jersey International Film Festival here today to give you an overview of our Summer 2019 Film Festival that will be taking place at Rutgers University on June 1st, 2nd, 7th, 8th, and 9th. 5 days, 5 evenings with 8 screenings. We have 20 films that are going to be screened from all over the world. They were selected from 500 entries that we received. So we're only showing about 4% of what we got, the best films in the world that you're going to see. And I'm going to give you a rundown of what will be screening at the festival. Our opening night is Saturday, June 1st. Programs will begin at 7 or at 5 p.m., but this one will begin at 7 in our state-of-the-art facility, which is Voorhees 105, which is located at Rutgers University's beautiful campus, about a block away from the New Brunswick train station at 71 Hamilton Street. The opening night program has 2 wonderful films. The Traffic Separating Device by Johan Palmgren is from Stockholm, Sweden, and our jurors were just absolutely thought it was one of the best things that they had ever seen. It's a very, very strange documentary film about a device that was put in the middle of the road to prevent cars from moving through. And despite major signage, people still would go on this road and have their cars get stuck. So the idiocy of mankind is revealed in this wonderful documentary, which will have you laughing guaranteed. The follow-up film, or the feature film that evening, is by Barbara Vakaric. She's from Dubrovnik, Croatia, and the film is called Alexi, which focuses on a young woman who's faced with a mid-20s challenge of what to do with her life. She's forced to move back home after a job falls through, and she's waiting for an opportunity in Berlin, Germany. But as a photographer, she falls in love with the local landscape, as well as men that are hanging out in the town that she lives in. So it's about her sexual exploits, as well as her trying to find her way in her life. And it's a really, really amazingly acted film by the lead actress, and is wonderfully directed by Barbara, who will be there at the screening to do a Q&A. So I hope you will join us. You'll get to see the beautiful seascape in this film. Then on Sunday, June 2nd at 5 p.m., we have 2 documentary films. One is called Hone Alone, Personal Stories from the Bridge by Aaron Johnson. He's from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and his film focuses on this bridge, a memorial bridge in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where many people have committed suicide jumping off of the bridge. This is a beautiful animated film about people who have encountered the bridge and all of its different dimensions, and it's a really wonderful film. It's 8 minutes long, it's animated, and there's 3 people who give their recollections about events that have taken there, that have happened there. Then the feature film is by Brian Rose. He's from Kansas City, Missouri. When I Last Saw Jesse is about Jesse Ross, who just disappears after attending an academic conference. It's a kind of whodunit film, so if you like the CSI kind of programs that are on TV, you will absolutely love this film. But it's not fiction. This is a real film, a documentary about a real event, and that will be taking place at the feature. Then at 7 p.m. that evening, Sunday, June 2nd, we have 2 really great films too. Anacronte is by Raul Kohler and Emiliano Sete. They're from Argentina. And this is a film, an animated film about good and evil, amazingly done, really beautiful, and pretty much in your face. 12-minute film, followed by Rafael Marciano's film from Caracas, Venezuela, called Little Histories, which is about a series of stories that are taking place during the coup that took place in Venezuela in 2002. This film reminded me a lot of the Academy Award-winning film Roma, which is also set during a revolutionary time period, but in Mexico. This one is taking place in Venezuela. Really beautifully acted, and not a film to bring children to, since there's lots of sexual situations. Then on Friday, June 7th, we have 2 great short animation films from Germany. Carlotta's Face by Valentin Riedel and Frederick Schuld is a really beautiful film based on a person who suffers from a disability, and yet the animated film perfectly punctuates what she's going through. And then Shadiq Adib from Stuttgart, Germany's Fuse was one of the highlights by the jury. It's about a mouse who's stuck in a mousetrap. And there's all sorts of interesting voices, including the very famous musician Nick Cave, who has one of the main voices. I won't tell you much more. Come and check it out. The feature that evening is Clarence Clements' Who Do I Think I Am by Nick Mead. We'll have the producer Joseph Amadei on for a special interview next week, so come and check that out. This program is being co-sponsored by the Rutgers University American Studies Department. It's a documentary about the very talented sax player in Bruce Springsteen E Street Band, Clarence Clements. Then on Saturday, June 8th at 5 p.m., a series of short films, Beast by Natalie Paracchio, Mother by Ellen Gottfried, and Dark Deco by Matt Deblinger. These are three really interesting, kind of surreal short films, followed by The House of Stronzo by Matthew White. He's from Pittsford, New York, and focuses on Pete Ciceri, who is one of the major collectors of American folk art. And it's a really, really wonderful film that focuses on Pete, who's an amazing personality. And that's the featured documentary on the 8th. At 5 p.m. Then that evening at 7 p.m., a short film by Jordan Rowe called The Reservoir, which stars Jared Gilman, who is the male star in Moonrise Kingdom, Wes Anderson's film. And it's about two kids who are trying to figure out if they're going to make a rock band happen or not, or go to college. A really, really great film that's set in New Jersey. And then the feature that evening is the world premiere of a film that has East Brunswick connections, and there will be an interview with Jeannie Bryson, who's the producer of the film, Sing You a Brand New Song, the words and music of Coleman Mellett. It's a documentary about her husband, who tragically died in a plane crash, but it focuses on the joy and the wonderful musicianship that Coleman Mellett had as a jazz guitar player for acts like Chuck Mangione. Jeannie Bryson will be on hand to do a Q&A, and we've already started selling tickets for this, and it's filling up, so if you're interested, get your tickets right away. That's again on Saturday, June 8th at 7 p.m. Just a few more films. On Sunday, June 9th at 5 p.m., a wonderful film about the youth culture in China called Song for Turbulent Youth by Jianhao Yang, and he's from China. This is being co-sponsored by the Rutgers University Confucius Institute, and that's at 5 p.m. on the 9th of June. And the 7 p.m. show on June 9th features 4 films by Rutgers students, either alums or current students. Tulips by Al Aretti, Window Shopping by Russell Coleman, Domino by Brent Leone, and Anywhere Is Here by Ian Lettieri. All 4 filmmakers will be there to do a Q&A. And I want to also say thank you to Jungle Software, who's providing the prizes for the films that will be winning Best Short, Best Documentary, Best Feature Film, Best Animation Film, which we'll be announcing after the last screening on June 9th. So again, folks, thanks for listening to this overview. If you want further information, please go to our website, which is njfilmfest.com. Click on where it says Summer 2019 New Jersey International Film Festival schedule and work your way to the bottom of the page. And if you need further information, you can also call us at 848-932-8482. And I also want to say thank you to EBTV for doing the New Jersey International Film Festival interview series for over a decade. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I'm Toni Hendricks, and I'm a member of the steering committee for the Lost Souls Public Memorial Project. I am also the chairperson for community engagement for the New Brunswick area branch of the NEACP.
And I'm Reverend Karen Johnston. I'm the minister at the Unitarian Society and also a member of the steering committee of the Lost Souls Public Memorial Project. And we're so excited to have with us today State Theater New Jersey's poet in residence, Glennis Redmond. Welcome, Glennis.
I'm so happy to be here.
Wonderful.
And Glennis, I mean, you are a poet.
Yes.
A poet in every part of the word, in terms of your vocation, your avocation, but you live in
South Carolina.
South Carolina now, but there's a very strong connection to New Jersey.
Yes, I have been the poet in residence at the State Theater for 11 years. This is my 11th year traveling from the Carolinas to New Jersey. And the engagement department there really like the work that I do in the community, and so we have really worked to bring poetry to the masses in Central Jersey.
Wow. I've heard a lot about it. I've got to get to the State Theater and attend one of your readings very soon, I promise.
We're so excited that you have come here to be part of or adding yourself to the Lost Souls project. And I just want to make sure that everybody who's listening knows about the Lost Souls project. It's a piece of our history that for a long time was forgotten, kind of whitewashed, but
Yes.
It's something that's been that we're bringing back. And so it's about 200 years ago in 1818, there was this corrupt judge whose residence was in East Brunswick. He was a Middlesex County judge, and he sold away over 177 African Americans, some of whom were free, some of whom would have had their freedom here in New Jersey, but he sold them into permanent slavery down south to Louisiana and Mississippi. And we feel that that is a history that cannot be forgotten, that we must remember those lost souls back home. And we've been able to find, the project has been able to find so many of their names. In fact, a year ago, we had 85 of their names, and now we have, we know of 177 people. So we're trying to build a memorial.
Well, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
For one, when we talk about slavery, we don't mention that these were people who had lives and loves and sorrows. And so I feel connected because my ancestors were enslaved. And so this history is important because the past is the present. We cannot be disconnected. If we're going to move forward, we must go back and reclaim that. And people will say that poets are namers. And so to find these names is a beautiful aspect to bring them into the present day. And this is one reason why I think sometimes our young people are disenfranchised. They don't know the history. Everywhere we walk, I have a line, everywhere we walk is a cemetery. And so we must remember these names, we must honor them. And this is a work, it takes a village to do this work. So I'm so happy to be a part of this Lost Soul project.
Which brings us to the topic of our conversation this afternoon,
Yes.
which is our second reading of the names, the remembrance of the lost souls that Reverend Karen was referencing, on May 22nd at Baker's Barn, right here in East Brunswick. And I understand that you're going to be actually, during this memorable evening, that we'll have dinner and conversation and the reading of the names, but highlighting and spotlighting some works that you have developed, some poems you've developed specifically for the event?
Yes.
What was your process to do that?
Well, I've been commissioned, and it was wonderful when Reverend Karen asked me about it, and I said, yeah, sure, because it's a line, it's part of my mission. One of the things I was talking to her about, I was saying, what is the opposite, of remembering? And people will always say forgetting. And I said, no, the opposite of remembering is dismembering. And so remembering is a creative act. So it's really powerful to be a part of a community that is remembering, putting something back together. And so as a poet, that's what I do. I do some research, I'll read materials, but the biggest part of what I do is go sit still and let the muse, let the folks who did not have a voice speak to me. And that may sound odd, but that is the realm of the artist. That's the realm of the poet, to say, tell me what you want me to know. Tell me what you want me to say. And I do my best to channel creatively, put it on the page, and then bring it back to the community. That is the role of the poet. That's the role of the griot, the storyteller.
Excellent.
So I really appreciate what you said before about the past not being dead, that it's with us. And I think one of the things that is true is that we cannot tell history without art right?
Yes.
For it to be
Yes.
engaging. And you also said it takes the whole village to be a part of this.
Yes.
And so we're really hoping that many people come to this event on May 22nd, where you will be highlighted, but where we hope that there will be many voices reciting these names. It's a powerful moment. We did this last year on the site where these folks were enslaved.
I saw the video, and it's a powerful act. I think we need more ritual and ceremony, especially around our enslaved people. And to say those names is a powerful thing. It charges the air, and we are changed.
So we are so blessed to have you be part of this year, and we are really hoping that all of you who are listening will save the date of May 22nd from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Baker's Barn. You can go to Eventbrite and look and buy tickets there. Tickets are $60, although if you spend $100, you get a specially printed broadside of a poem that Glennis is written specifically for this. So we really look forward to seeing you there. It takes a village to remember these lost souls back home.
Shine a light on me, like the midnight special. Shine its light on me, like the midnight special. Shine a light on me, like the midnight special. Shine a light